If you bought an E60 M5, there's a good chance you bought it partly because you want to be able to hear that V10. Coming from the factory, they aren't very loud, and there's a lot more to be gained by opening up the induction system. Sure, you can put an exhaust on it, but this lets you really hear the way that motor was intended to sound. This is the Infinity Design CSL intake and plenum system. It uses AlphaN tuning. I'm going to walk you through the installation, dyno results, and some audio clips. I'm not sponsored by anybody in this video, but I will say this, Vibratite's VC3 thread locker made this a whole lot easier. Definitely recommend it. When you have your new plenum and intake system all unpacked and ready to go, the first thing you'll want to do is mark off on the plenum horns exactly where they line up. They'll show up in the correct order, and what you need to do is make sure that you know exactly where each one of them goes. I like to mark them off with a chalk marker. The other thing you need to do is pull off the original intake boots for the plenum. You could also buy a new set and get Edeker clamps to go with that, but if the ones that you have on your current car are a little torn up, maybe bent, you want to replace them. Other thing you can do is if yours are in good shape and you don't want to get the Edeker clamps, you can use standard hose clamps. The last thing you'll need is an intake air temperature sensor relocation harness from Turner Motorsport. This is necessary because you're replacing your MAF sensors, and they also sense the temperature of the air coming into the car. So now we're taking a look inside the car, and we're going to be looking into the air feed that comes in from the passenger side bumper. That's our IAT sensor, and that IAT sensor will plug directly into the MAF plug on the passenger side of the car. So if you reach down and pull out that little air thing I'm pointing at right there, that'll come right out. You can use a 1/2-inch drill bit and install the IAT sensor right where I've put it there. The next thing you'll want to be doing is making sure that the throttle bosses or boots line up the way they did on the original plenums. The reason for this is that the installation procedure for the boots is the same as if you're using the stock plenums, so make sure that they line up. It can be helpful to take pictures of the original plenums before you do this so that you make sure that everything is aligned in the correct position, and you'll be able to reach it with the screwdrivers. Once these are all lined up, you take off the driver's side throttle body bosses and the horns, and what you'll do is reinstall the throttle body bosses on the car itself before you put the plenum on.